Stay close, stay with hope. It's not gone till we let it roll away. You're the only one and only. You're the only one, and we're feeling alive again.
Break new ground. Discover more at ariat.com.
British riders hold the top 5 places after day 1 of dressage here at the 2023 Defender Burghley Horse Trials, with Oliver Townend and Swallow Springs out in front. Oliver into the lead with Swallow Springs. How did he feel in there today?
Yeah, fantastic. He's a very special horse to us. It's all credit to the team behind him and Andrew Nicholson that produced him so beautifully for so many years. Paul and Diana Ridgeon have owned horses with myself and Andrew for a long time, so it's a day that we'll enjoy.
And also in a very competitive position with Treguilder as well. A great start for you here at Burghley.
Yeah, didn't think he was quite dealt the mark that he deserved, but I think that, you know, we're not on our own with that feeling, and we're very, very happy with both horses' performances so far. Both have done a clear round in our view.
European champion Ros Cantor, who sat atop the leaderboard at lunchtime with Pencos Crown Jewel, is now in provisional second. Ros explained how a change of tactics has paid off with this mare, who is a half-sibling to her badminton and double European gold medal winning ride, Lordship's Graffalo. Ros, beautiful test with Pencos Crown Jewel for a score of 26.9. How did you prepare her this morning for this test?
Yeah, so Jasmine's a little bit different to some of my other horses. She's quite croup high in her conformation, and tend to be the longer I work her for, the more difficult the feel I get in her mouth. So I have to be very careful. I overdid it slightly at badminton. We peaked kind of the week before, and then the actual test was a little bit hard work. So I've been, in a way, lucky that I haven't been around that much. She's been doing just hacking and things at home, which really suits her. And then I've really had to kind of drum down what I've done today. She's been out of her stable. I've been on her 3 times, but just literally for 10 minutes, and then out here just now we've just done lots of walking, picked her up for 30 seconds, dropped her back down again, let her rest, just so, you know, physically she felt in a really good place to perform.
And how did she feel in there?
Brilliant. Yeah. I mean, the other slightly tricky thing with Jazz is that she can jog in her walk. So if I do nothing, then she is a little bit fresh, and she's just on the verge of getting. We didn't want to do too much more walk in there, but the feeling I got from her, the power, but the balance was definitely far better than I've had before.
And for you, coming into this, of the year you've had, European champion, badminton champion, what feeling does that give you as a rider coming to, you know, another of the big 5 stars?
Well, I mean, it's no different in lots of ways, because Jasmine is a completely different horse, and the challenge is very, very different to what everything else I've experienced this year. So in that sense, you very much have to train yourself to stay in your own bubble. I do things like come off social media on a week like this, try and very much stay in my own little bubble, knowing my horse, trying to stick to my plans. It's a very difficult thing to do when you're at an event like this. But equally, you know, there's a huge amount of enjoyment to winning something like that. People know who you are. I got a great cheer at the trot up yesterday, and it's just a fantastic feeling, you know, that people are behind you and want you to do well.
Emily King is in provisional 3rd at this stage on her first trip to Burghley Horse Trials as a competitor with Valmy Biats. Emily, you've just done your dressage with Valmy Biats. How exciting is it to be making your Burghley debut?
Yeah, so excited to be here. You know, never been here a lot with Mum, but never ridden here myself. So excited to be here, and with a horse like Valmy. He's a fantastic jumping horse. He's very brave. So just need to get everything organised for the cross country, and hopefully let him do his job and come back on Sunday for a jump.
What would be some of your earliest memories coming to watch here at Burghley?
I always think, because it was the end of our summer holidays and we were in school, so we used to always come for the whole thing, and we always just, so exciting to be here. And badminton's fantastic, but the weather's normally kinder for Burghley, isn't it? And could be here for the whole week, and it's always been a massive dream to ride here, so to actually be here and on Valmy, who I know really well, is just really, really lucky.
Were you pleased with how you went in the first phase?
Yeah, very pleased. So the parts that were super, if anything, much better than his previous test, but then there was a few little blips here and there. But all in all, for his progression, as time goes on, really, really happy with how he's progressing.
And talking about that progression as well, how has he felt progressing through this season, and what have you learnt from the 5-star and 4-star experiences you've had with him so far this year?
Yeah, a huge amount actually. And again, you know, training at home, going to trainers and training, it's nothing like actually being at the competition, working them, but then going in the rings, just seeing how they react to different situations. And yeah, learn a lot from him this year, especially he's done a lot of competitions in the wet and been interesting to see how he's coped with that. He then went to Le Moulin on the surface, which obviously was very different. And yeah, he's quite a tense, like super active horse. So, you know, I have to just keep him really chilled and really focused. And then, yeah, he's still, like, his flying changes and everything have been quite late learning. When he came to me, he didn't do them at all. So that was when he was like, whenever he was only a few years ago. So that's been a very quick learning curve. So those aren't established, but again, they're getting more and more established and everything is improving. So yeah, really pleased with how he's getting better and better.
Tom, this horse looks such an exciting prospect. Obviously, we saw her winning the 4-star long up at Blair last year, and now she's making her 5-star debut here. How did she feel in Burghley's main arena today?
To be honest, she was awesome. I was so pleased with how she held it together. This is her first 5-star. I mean, Blair's a heck of a place to get them used to people, and so is Bramham, but this is something altogether different, and they're in there by themselves. So she couldn't have been better. She couldn't have tried harder. There were some seriously decent highlights, which not that I was watching the markers go through, but I could roughly see it, and I thought it was a bit disappointing with the mark, really. For me, she deserved a lot better. And hopefully it's not a Thursday morning thing and they hold it through to Friday, to be honest. But yeah, Luna was awesome, so delighted.
And what are the qualities that make her so exciting?
To be honest, she's just doing it for herself. I'm just a passenger. This is all through her own choice. She absolutely loves it. And for me, like cross country day, people will probably see the true tuna fish. Really, off she goes flying around and absolutely loving life. So yeah, very excited.
Oliver Townend is in 5th with Tregilder, with Jenny Saville and FE Lifestyle, the highest place international combination at this stage, competing for the US, and in 6th. Zara Tyndall is in 7th with Classifier at this stage, with Boyd Martin and On Cue in 8th. Here's what they had to say. Zara, how is it to be back here at Burghley?
Oh, it's great to be back. It's just a beautiful place to ride and always a great competition.
And how special is the event itself to you?
It's really special because I started out here, I guess, when with Toy Town, and I always kind of wanted to get him here, and we had a great start to our career here. So it's one of my favourite competitions, and you've had the whole season and hopefully established a good relationship over the year. So the terrain and the big track always hopefully brings out the best in what you've done over the year.
And of course, you've just done your dressage on Classifier. How did he feel in there today?
Yeah, he felt good. Some bits were not as good as I'd wanted, but that's the way with dressage, isn't it? He's a bit tricky in his brain and in his sort of some of his movements, but actually I was generally pleased. It's early days, isn't it? So you're not probably going to get the best score that you want. Compared to last year, I was a bit later on, but actually, if we finish on that, I'd be very happy.
And you prepared as well by going up to Blair to do the guinea pig test up there. How helpful was that, do you feel?
I didn't go all the way up to do that. He was already up there. So, it's good. I just wanted to keep him ticking along. This year I've run him less, but tried to sort of fill in the gaps with other stuff. But no, he's good actually. I mean, this morning he was a bit against me, but actually when he went in there, he probably got a bit better than. So, I mean, that's the way you want it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Boyd, a lovely test there with your Maryland 5-star winner On Cue. How special is it to be back at Burghley?
Oh, it's great. It's obviously one of those fantastic competitions in the world that the best of the best of the best go to, and having Thomas and Q here suits their career. They've had wonderful careers at the 5-star level, and it'd sort of be incomplete without a 5-star Burghley stamp on their passport.
And On Cue in particular, what's her preparation been like coming into this event? What have you been focusing on with her?
Oh, the biggest thing, I know how hard the cross country is, so getting her as fit as we can, and we're very lucky in America to have some fantastic gallops, and we just spent a very, very long prep getting her ready for this, and I feel like she's in great shape, and you've got to get out there and ride her well. So she definitely can do it. It's just a matter of me giving her the right trip. So.
And I also spoke to locally based rider Matt Heath, who's riding Ascari this week. Here's what Matt had to say. Matt, tell me what it's like riding in that Burghley arena as a fairly locally based rider and with a horse here who's making his Burghley debut.
Oh yeah, it's great. I mean, it means a huge amount to everyone that's involved in the team to be able to come here with a horse. You wait a long time to get horses to this level, and they don't come along very often. So to have one here is great. I don't know, I think there's a bit of added pressure when you're local. Like, kind of normally you go into the big arena at these shows and you might see a few of the usual faces on the circuit, but you don't tend to see quite so many of the faces that you wouldn't necessarily see, that have come to have a look round, and they come and show their support, which is wonderful. Just puts a bit of extra pressure on.
And were you pleased with how the horse went in the first phase?
Yeah, really pleased with him. He's pretty strong in this phase, but it's his first time at this level. He'll improve an awful lot for that. And I think that going forwards, there was things I can really work on. I think I've got to be braver and probably not work him in quite so long. Ian's been telling me that for months, so he'll be pleased I'm saying that. I think that he's got a lot more to give, on top of that as well. So I'm really pleased, really pleased.
Harry Mee completes the top 10 with Cavalier Crystal, one of his 3 rides here at the Defender Burghley Horse Trials. Harry and Oliver both have 3 horses in the mix at this year's Burghley, so both will also be in action in the dressage arena again tomorrow on their 3rd rides. And I also caught up with the popular 5-star combination of David Dole and Galileo Newmood, who were competing here today. David, you've got such a lovely established relationship with this horse. How did he feel in there today?
Yeah, I was really pleased with him today. Actually, he was really quite settled in his trot, in all his work really. He just caught me out a little bit at the end there. He just got a little bit speedy on me, which was a real shame because sort of his changes have been getting better and better. And so he just dropped a few marks right at the end there, which was, I was a little bit disappointed about because I actually felt he deserved, a good test because of the work that he was doing.
Head over to the Horse and Hound website for all the latest news from here at the Defender Burghley Horse Trials. And don't forget to hit like and to subscribe to Horse and Hound's YouTube channel for more content.